Well, today is the last day of Mardi Gras, one of the last days, better known as Fat Tuesday. So it's the last day of all the parades and feasting before the start of Lent. So now's the time to get out your king cake. If you've got anything festive, the hats, the masks, the beads, all that, pull it out today. Wear it to work, do you? I don't know. Good morning, guys. I'm Julia, along with Julia, Chuck, and Carlos for an extra shot of sunrise.
And of course, this is March 1st.
Yep.
We feel really good about it being 3-1. You get that 2 out of there. Hate the month of February, and Chuck has got some great news as far as
you hate the love month, huh?
Right.
I do. I'm sorry, because I've always said, growing up in Indiana is an amazing state to grow up in if you can get through January and February.
Right. Okay.
Those are the 2 months that, come on. I mean,
we do have a lot of flights to Florida during that. But we've really got a good day today, and really tomorrow for Ash Wednesday too. I do want to show you a problem, and this is a biggie. This is I-465 westbound at Harding. Now, Harding is where you have all the fuel stations. Like to your right there, you see Mr. Fuel. To the left is that big petro station. But this is a always busy area this time. And now we're talking about a 21-minute delay. So, you know, that's about the only way you can get to the airport right now. You can go over, take Sam Jones to 465 and cut over to 70, but this is a mess out
so
there.
That's westbound. Okay, that's
westbound, correct.
Okay,
headed towards the airport.
Because earlier, I'm sorry to interrupt you, when I was coming in this morning, eastbound, I go under that to come in on 135. Eastbound, the traffic eastbound was a mess. So that's just that whole area of 465 is just kind of a mess down there.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, there we go.
But it is a happy one because today's the first day of what we consider meteorological spring. That's when records are kept from weather purposes. March 1st through May 31st is spring, not astronomically, but from that standpoint. 40 degrees out there right now, and wow, what a day. 62 coming home from school. Big Ten women's tournament starts tomorrow. There are a couple of games. IU Purdue play Thursday, but on Wednesday, 63 for a high. And you know, speaking of Thursday, let's put future track in motion. When we get to Thursday, it's going to cool down quite a bit. In fact, a high of only 42. And from Indy north, and especially north, we could see a little wintry mix. However, that warm front you see, that's going to be a game changer going into Friday and the weekend. So 2 great days today and tomorrow. A lot more sun tomorrow, by the way, at 63. Then that wintry mix is possible with only 42 Thursday. But by Saturday, 68 degrees, 23 degrees above average. Chamber of Commerce weather for all those hulking guys here for the NFL Combine and for our guests, because remember this year you can go in and watch beginning on Thursday. By the way, about that, you know, Lindsay and I were looking this up. Those are sold out, those spots, but they are going to offer some walk-up opportunities. So beginning Thursday, if you're downtown, you think, I wonder if they got a few seats. They might. So just walk over to Lucas Oil Stadium. They'll let you know.
Give it a try. Well, do any of you remember how many colleges you applied for?
Just one.
Just one?
Because, yeah, because I had a dream of going to UCLA, and my parents were like, yeah, right. Pay that out-of-state tuition. So they were like, you're going to IU. That's all you're going to, IU.
All right. Well, it's also expensive, by the way, to apply to those colleges.
Sure, yeah, so I was like, we got to keep it narrowed down. Yeah.
Pick a few. Well, a girl in Atlanta has a tough choice because she has been accepted to 21 different schools. And I bet she didn't even apply to all of them.
Probably not.
I just kind of heard about her. So this is Taylor Edwards. And she's been offered nearly $1.2 million in scholarship money along the way. So her mom says she's always been good with her studies as well as playing school sports, which is really why everyone wants her. So she does plan to go to medical school after earning her undergraduate degree.
I saw that she had there on that list 3 SEC schools, UK, UT, LSU, plus Pitt. I don't know if she had any Indiana
she's out in
schools,
Atlanta. I mean, that's SEC kind of country there, you know, ACC as well.
I think that even listening to her mom was kind of talking about all the extracurricular stuff that she does, which is just crazy because I'm sure that obviously her GPA is really high, but just she's a well-rounded student, and that's just still, I'm like 21 colleges. I wouldn't even know, like.
I was talking at church day before, well, Sunday, to a lady whose son had a lot of, basically full ride at an Indiana university and at another Indiana university that he also applied to not much offer. And I found with our kids, that's the way.
Yes.
It's feast or famine sometimes. You never know why.
Yeah, well, hey, she's got 1.2 million reasons to pick a
Yes,
school.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a cool story here. A couple actually celebrating their 34th anniversary left dinner with something really special. They actually got a pearl worth thousands of dollars. But the story is what's so interesting because last Sunday, so the husband, he ordered his usual appetizer. He could clams on a half shell, but then he bit into that last one, the 12th one, and he noticed something in his mouth and thought that he had actually broke a tooth. It wasn't a broken tooth, it was a pearl. But instead of selling it, his wife thought it'd be a good idea to make a nice piece of jewelry. And experts say that that pearl actually could be worth between $50,000 and $100,000.
So they must be loaded.
Yes.
If they don't need to sell that for almost
Then comes the
$100,000.
ethical question. And I would say
The
it's
restaurant.
theirs, but the restaurant.
I thought about that when I was like, oh man, I hope they broke the waiter off a little something,
Yes.
or like, you know, the staff
Yes,
there.
definitely.
Okay, that's interesting though. But they bought the oyster.
They bought the
They
oyster,
did,
and that's
yeah.
one way to look at it.
Yeah,
But
all right.
I think from a moral standpoint, you have to think, this server came to me, gave me this thing, and it was
you gotta-
pure
yeah.
luck. because
Anybody that
nobody could
touched
see
that
it.
is thinking that they have
That
claims.
they- that's right.
Everybody that's touched
I would
it is like,
certainly break
Yeah.
off some of it,
Yeah.
some of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would too.
Well, and it was the 12th one.
what's so funny
if
to
he
me.
was like full at 11
Yeah.
and was like, you know what, I can't finish the rest of
Trash.
then he throws it in the trash,
Yeah.
then you don't see the $100,000.
Also, can you imagine? Oh, I don't want to
go
cut you
ahead.
off. Can you
No, go
imagine anybody else in the restaurant that also ordered clams that's looking over, like, what did he find?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, gosh, I wish that I would have been like, I wish that could have been. The clams I would have had wouldn't have tasted good anymore.
Well, I was going to say, it would never happen to me because I've literally choked down 2 of those in my lifetime.
Oh, clams.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awful.
Okay.
So I could never eat those.
Like
But
lead paint. All right. Hey, Matt Reeves has got a new take on The Batman. It hits theaters this Friday. RottenTomatoes.com says The Dark Knight's bleakest and most thrillingly ambitious, so they love it, live-action outings. Take a listen to what the star, Robert Pattinson, you know, from he was in
Twilight
Twilight,
Zone?
thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, he believes this is the biggest difference between the new films and the older versions.
The difference with this movie and a lot of the other ones, like normally the only time anyone else in Gotham sees Batman is either just before they get punched in the face or like they're in a dark alley or something. And in this, he's interacting with people a lot.
There you go. So, you know, a lot of people planning to swoop into theaters to watch this. And by the way, get this. The guy, 7 or 8 years ago, the guy who had the largest Batman collection of memorabilia in the country lived right here in Indianapolis.
Wow.
Kevin Silva is his name. Scott Swan did a piece on him several years ago. Well, the reason he no longer has that collection, he sold it to the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. And so he sold it, and now he's building his collection back up. I'm actually leaving right now to go interview him again. So he's building up this collection of Batman, and now he's got his son involved. His son is doing Batman artwork. They love the Batman, you know, and so that's going to be airing on Friday right here on Sunrise. So there you go.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
I was looking, you know, I'm sorry, I just don't have a lot of interest in a lot of
these
Nerdy stuff. Nerdy stuff.
Yes,
You can
I was
say it.
even, but I was looking, I was like, oh, the cast. I was like, if you had said that the guy from Twilight was going to be in there, then I would have bought my ticket already. And then I saw was that Zoe Kravitz that's in this
Zoe
too?
Kravitz is in
Yeah, I
it,
was like,
and,
oh, what a good
Colin
looking
Farrell
cast.
plays
Yeah.
the Penguin. So from all indications that this nerd has heard about it, it's amazing.
movie.
It's
If you
great.
like The Dark Knight,
Okay.
when my boys were growing up, lovely wife said, you can read the Batman comics, but not the Dark Knight stuff, because that is
Dark.
So is he a
It's
bad
dark.
guy?
No, he's a good guy.
He's a
But
good guy,
he's a
but
vigilante.
mental issues. He's a vigilante.
Okay.
He's very aggressive.
Yeah.
And so it's more like that. It's more like the Dark Knight.
Well,
Robert
and
Pattinson.
in the trailer, one of these thugs says, "What are you supposed to be?" And he walks up, and I think he punches this guy like 20 times. I mean, the Batman punches this thug like 20, and you're like, "Ooh, this is a little violent," you know.
Yeah.
And so Batman's a little crazy in this one. So it's going to be interesting to see, and it's a long movie, by the way, too. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
If
It's
you're
a
not
long-
necessarily wrapped up into the Batman theatrics, would this not be a good movie to start with?
I just think that you have to be kind of hardcore.
You gotta be into it.
You
Okay.
gotta know what you're
taking
doing.
your kids to this.
No,
Okay.
no.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, that's what I meant. It's
No.
not a kids
It's
movie.
not a kids.
Yeah.
This is a dark. It's PG-13, and it was never meant to be rated R. There was a rumor that it was once rated R, never meant to be. I am nerding out big time.
I see.
But it's PG-13, but it is very dark, and like I said, it's very long too. So
Yeah.
it's tough for a 6-year-old to sit through a 2-hour and 45-minute long movie. So
Yeah,
there you go.
you would lose me in a 2-hour and 45-minute movie. So
All right. Well, we should say goodbye and everybody go out and enjoy
62
this
today,
weather.
63 tomorrow, and Sean will have more today on 13 News at noon about the wintry mix that's going to
Yeah,
come in
I don't wanna hear anything
on
about that.
Thursday. Yeah.
All right.
kidding,
Well,
me
thanks
too.
for being with us, you guys.
Take it easy. Thanks for watching Extra Shot. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 a.m. on Sunrise.
happy Tuesday.
Bye.